building castles in the air without looking back. Now I'll tell you all the things that I don't really want to think about. Cause love is harder than it used to be, and time runs faster than we pictured it. I'm looking at you like it's us, but I know there's a change of heart. At my side of the bed, at the edge of every night, when you're asleep, my mind tends to wander off sometimes. To all the dreams and all the desires, our paper planes in front of our eyes, and everything we've always believed in, will it hold us back? Cause love is harder than it used to be, and life is nothing like we pictured it. Who are we to blame ourselves for moving on, to become someone? We're so happy on the move, and we ran, couldn't slow down. And though I know these are the hands that could belong to, my legs are tired. We're not the people that we used to be, still trying to find out who we wanna be. You're looking at me and you know, like we already shared the words. At my side of the bed, at the edge of every night, when you're asleep, my mind tends to wander off sometimes. To all the dreams and all the desires, our paper planes in front of our eyes, and everything we've always believed in, will it hold us back? Cause love is harder than it used to be, and life is not.
Alright, hi guys. As you can probably tell, this is a couple of weeks after I did that little montage-y intro, because I've clearly been outside a lot, although my legs need to catch up to the rest of my body. But I'm officially done with school, which is the time that I was taking that video. I was in the middle of finals and everything. So this video is kind of a little bit of a random one, but I know that it was something that I struggled with a good deal for a little while when I was working on recovery, and I realize now that I'm kind of on the other side of this aspect of it, and thought I would give some advice to anyone who's experiencing the same things that I was experiencing. This was something that was kind of a big initiator of a lot of relapse behaviors. That was dealing with like gut health and stomach issues in recovery. So for me, I'm gonna start by just saying I obviously am not certified in any way to give advice to anyone on what they should or should not be eating, on anything they're allergic to, anything they have been told by a medical professional they cannot eat, should not eat. I'm not giving that kind of advice because I am in absolutely no position to do that. But if anyone is in a situation that kind of parallels my own, they might kind of realize that there are ways to work around what's going on, and that maybe there are other explanations for what's going on with your stomach, what was going on with my stomach at the time in recovery, how to handle that, which is not necessarily cutting out whole food groups, which is what I did for a super long time. So to kind of give a little bit of a backstory, my issues with having like a lot of stomach pain, I would say it really kind of took off when I was 16 and I went to Florida to continue down this ballet track that I mentioned in an intro video a little while ago that I'll probably have to redo because it was so horribly filmed and it made no sense, but to pursue ballet on a pre-professional track, and I was just in absolutely no position to be in charge of my food. because I had been abusing what I was eating and having issues with my eating disorder for many years before that. And I really just kind of took things into my own hands and decided to cut out any food group that I deemed unhealthy, which was a really, really big range. It was all dairy. It was essentially a vegan diet with more taken out of it. There was no dairy. I wouldn't have eggs really. I wouldn't have any kind of oils. I wouldn't really have any sugar, healthy fats. So all of that was taken out of my diet for pretty much a year. And I had always kind of had some issues with my stomach. It had, bothered me for a long time, especially when I was really in the middle of my eating disorder. Anytime I would have a slightly larger portion, I'm sure a lot of people experience this, than what you normally serve yourself, which is pretty negligible. My stomach had a lot of issues digesting that. And when I came back home, after being in Florida for a year, because I quit ballet, coffee break. When I came home from Florida after I cut out so many different foods, I was pretty much eating the whole food, plant-based diet kind of deal for a year, and I came home and I was thrown into eating them when I came back. I did not really have a choice. And I immediately just was in constant excruciating pain. I never had to eat so much of foods that my body had not had in such a long time, and in quantities my body hadn't had in such a long time. I didn't have all of the resources that a lot of people today have with YouTube and stuff like that, where you can search things like, bloating or something like that, or difficulty digesting, and all of that kind of stuff that comes with the territory of eating more and eating foods that you're not used to normally eating. I didn't have those resources, and I thought there was something wrong with my stomach. I didn't understand why, if I'd gone my whole life being able to technically eat these things, whether I allowed myself them or not, why my stomach was now facing so many issues. I went to so many doctor's appointments over this, and I just got the same really unhelpful response for a person who thinks they're about to deal with like chronic stomach pain for the rest of their life, which was just that I had to go on all of these different diets to see to pinpoint what specific foods are bothering me. And I did this for months after I came home, and nothing was happening. I basically was just told by doctors at one point, like, oh, you have IBS, and the solution is essentially to find what food bothers your stomach and eliminate that, and you'll be fine. What was bothering my stomach was gluten, dairy, sugar, oil. I just didn't know how to deal with that. I just felt like I had completely screwed myself over. I was confused because I used to be able to eat those things. What I have learned since is that your body is really, really smart, and if you stop eating these whole entire food groups for extended periods of time, your body is going to conserve energy by stopping to create these certain kinds of gut bacteria that break those kinds of foods down. If you stop eating these whole food groups, your body is intelligent enough to stop making the gut bacteria that's going to be capable of breaking down these foods, because it's simply never introduced to them. I took lactose intolerance tests, gluten allergy tests, like for celiac disease. They all came back negative, which is why I'm saying, if you are being told you have an intolerance, then that overrules and overrides my advice here. But if you, like me, like all of the celiac tests, lactose intolerance tests came back negative, and yeah, I was still being told like just should avoid them. Maybe there's other solutions here. And at first it was very, very, there was this balance between being told I couldn't eat these foods and the eating disorder voice really like digging its claws in and basically saying like, this is your opportunity here to be able to go through life not having these foods anymore. No one in your family is going to tell you you should keep eating these things if a doctor has told you that you can avoid them. Like, here's your opportunity to know that you're really limiting calories. I just felt so worn out by it and so defeated. And I just went, as a lot of people do, the opposite direction. And I just started, my thought process was literally like, screw it. I'm in discomfort either way. I'm going to be in discomfort and at least allow myself to try the things that I've been holding myself back from for forever. I did continue to think there was something wrong for a really long time, that this is what I was going to be dealing with forever, with this kind of discomfort and this kind of pain and bloating. And I could not give you like a day or specifically how many months after that I realized I was somewhat in the clear. Around a year, maybe. I mean, I don't want to say, see, the thing is I'm so afraid of saying like this is how long it took me and be discouraging about it, because it's 100% worth the other side of having a lifetime of open-ended opportunities for eating. But I would say probably, I prolonged it because I dove right back into eating disorder behaviors after this for a long time and in college and stuff like that. So this was absolutely prolonged. Like, maybe if in that exact moment I decided to fully commit to really incorporating those food groups back, it could have just been a totally different experience. I think that it really just requires a commitment to diving in to the idea of allowing yourself what you want when you want it, and understanding that for a little while there's going to be discomfort on the other side of it, and understanding that will go away. That is really the beautiful thing about recovery, and the beautiful thing about our bodies in general, is that they are meant to adapt to whatever new situation you're throwing at it so quickly. And yes, it adapted to the punishment of me not allowing myself to eat certain foods for a very, very long time, and as a result I lost that really valuable gut bacteria, and I'll continue this in another video, but it's what affected my hormone levels for a really long time, and gave me skin issues, but it was able to recover and regain what it had before. So really have, a lot of recovery is this anyways, but really having trust in the fact that your body can handle things on its own. You have not permanently disrupted its, your little inner biome. You've not permanently destroyed it. You're not going to never be able to eat these foods again. I think a lot of the eating disorder tells you that your body is, that if you don't control everything about your body, starting with what you're allowing it to eat, all hell's gonna break loose. And I think this part of recovery can be about really getting back to a place of trust with your physical self, and really getting back to a place of trust that it can handle what it needs to on its own, and it wants you to be the healthiest, fully functioning version of yourself that you can be. I think just over time you'll start to see that you're able to break these things down easier, and it's coming more naturally to your body because it's realizing it's going to keep getting these foods consistently, which is why it's key to keep giving yourself those foods consistently and not back away from the challenge of the project of really reintroducing those foods, which it is really challenging, but really committing to that, because you know every time you give yourself those foods, you're allowing your body to really metabolize the fact that these are foods that we'll keep seeing and keep needing to digest. So keep giving yourself them. That's the way your body's going to learn it needs to develop the proper bacteria to break it down. If you are someone who has been able to eat these foods your whole life, and then after your eating disorder, during your eating disorder, you're discovering that you're facing a lot of pain and you're facing a lot of real internal discomfort, and you think that the solution is to simply continue not eating those foods, I think aside from medical diagnosis, I would really give your body the chance to, I would really give yourself the opportunity to see what your body is capable of, and trust that your life can be as full as you want it to be with all of those foods incorporated into it. And I'm wishing everyone the best. Hopefully things are starting to loosen a little bit for people out there, and you can start going and outside and enjoying some things a little bit more freedom, safely. So yeah, I will make another video soon, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.